Hi, everybody. I am here to give you an update on what happened with the trial between me and Heejin and Hybe. And this is in the shareholder agreement termination case. If you would remember, Hybe asked the court to confirm to confirm the termination of the shareholders agreement. And Min Heejin countered Sue, saying that her put option was actually valid. Okay, so the trial lasted for 5 hours, and the next trial is going to be on the 15th of January. Okay, let's go through it because it's pretty lengthy. Okay. So, one of the things that was raised was the shaman conversation. Hybe, whenever I say Hybe, I mean the lawyers of Hybe. And whenever I say Min Hee Jin, it could either be Min herself because she was there as a witness, or the lawyers, and I will indicate it. Okay. So Hybe asked her about the conversation she had with the shaman, Kakao Talk messages. And in that conversation, she said something like, let's get it within 3 years. What did you mean? I want to have it. And so the lawyer of Hybe asked her, what exactly were you referring to in this text messages, in this Kakao Talk messages? And then she said that that was way back in March 2021. How could I remember what it was about? So, and she said, I don't understand why it is relevant to this case. This is about the put option. So it's not relevant, but she still provided an explanation. She said that in March 22 is when all the employees of Hybe moved into the new building. So if you remember, the building that Hybe is occupying right now, that's a rental. And so it was a brand new building when they moved in. And she said that March 2022 was the day all the employees were moved in. Now, she was involved in the designing of the building, assigning where each of the agency was going to be. And that's how she ended up with the top floor. And so she said that I wanted to make sure that nothing goes to waste because I was involved in the construction of the building and the designing of the interior design of the building anyway. So I meant I don't want that. I don't want to just let that go. And she said that the rest of like not be involved. In other words, she doesn't want to not be involved in the progress of it. Now she said, but the rest of the other statements, it doesn't mean anything. Okay. And then the lawyer of Hybe asked her, did you harbor any kind of ill will or any kind of bad feelings towards Hybe and still decided to sign with us? Now, she responded and said, emotions are irrelevant. Establishing a label is a business decision and not something that I could make on my own. She said this was the decision made by Bang Shiyuk and Park Ji-won. So in essence, she actually didn't respond. She just stated that it's irrelevant. Emotions are irrelevant in this. Now, Hybe said that, asked her, did you hear about an article that was published about NewJeans joining hands with BANA or NewJeans starting to work with BANA? Okay. And Min Hee-jin said that yes, she learned about the article and that the publication, the one that published the article, is a known pro Hybe supporter. Okay. They are known for their pro Hybe stance. Now, who is BANA? It's Beasts and Natives, and they are a hip hop record label in South Korea. And they're pretty good. They have signed some of the best hip hop artists in South Korea. But maybe you know this incident, but there was a group Supreme Team. It was made of two people. They're a duo, and one of them is Essence, and the other one is Dominic. Anyway, okay. So Essence is the other one. He's the taller guy in that picture. He got involved in marijuana, which is illegal in South Korea. He got into a fight with the agency of their original agency. And so he left that agency and moved to Beasts and Natives. He actually went to jail. He's pretty good though, but if you want to check him out, I think he changed his name. I don't know to what. I can't remember, but he's very, very good. So he's one of the artists signed under Beasts and Natives, and he's really good. The other person, the other rapper signed under Beasts and Natives is Benzino. He's actually a pretty big and influential rapper in South Korea. Now, BANA ended up providing A&R services to Adore exclusively. So they don't work with anybody else, just with Adore. And apparently, the name Adore was originally owned by the founder of Beasts and Natives, Kim Ki Yoon. He's the founder and the CEO. So Min Hee-jin bought the name from him, from Kim Ki Yoon. And Kim Ki Yoon is Min Hee-jin's ex-boyfriend. Okay. So Hybe asked her about it. She admitted, yes, they dated, but they have broken up. And she also made it clear that while they were working in relation to NewJeans, they never saw each other. Okay. They would just talk and text, but never saw each other. Now, Hybe questioned her. They said that initial price of the Adore name and the trademark is 12,000 US dollars or 17 million Korean won. But the final price ended up being 100 million won or 76,000 US dollars, which included logo usage, design services. And she said that yes, that is true, but that is a fair market price. Okay. So then Hybe zoned in on the contract of BANA. And according to the contract that Min Hee-jin gave them, they were getting paid 33 million US dollars every month. Okay. They also get, um, Adore also covers s- cost of the staff of BANA. Not all of them, but some of them. And also, BANA was receiving 5% of the annual sales of NewJeans, which is actually pretty big. I mean, that's way above the standard. But okay, so that's what's according indicated in the contract. So they get 5% of the annual sales. It's like an incentive. Okay. Now, Hybe argued that those were unusually generous. They said this is too big. But Min said that, and they asked if Park Ji-won, the former CEO of Adore, and Bang Shi-yuk approved that contract. And Min said that she believed they were approved based on her conversation with the former CEO of Hybe, Park Ji-won, and Bang Shi-yuk himself. She remembers that they were aware of that contract and they approved it. Okay, but she admitted that she does not remember the circumstances of the approval. Okay. Now, Hybe said that after that initial contract, a new contract was signed. And this contract gives Kim Ki-yoon directly, the founder of uh, BANA, 5% cumulative total of sales of NewJeans, including past albums. So even the other albums that they released before he started working with NewJeans, he was gonna get 5% of that. And it was going to be paid directly with Kim Ki-yoon. And so this raised, and also they raised the incentive outside of that additional 5% for all the past albums. They also raised the incentives from 400 million to sorry, from 33, so they were getting 33 million a month, and then they were given an additional incentive, or the incentive was increased to 400 million, anywhere between 400 million and 1 billion Korean won, or 300 US dollars to 750,000 US dollars. And Min said that this is not excessive at all. And she said that NewJeans achieved extraordinary success. That's number one. Kim Ki-yoon was a big contributor of that success. That's number two. And that there are a lot of freelancers out there that are actually getting more than that. Kim Ki-yoon said that she said that Kim Ki-yoon is not getting any royalties. So the incentive is actually in place of the royalty. And it's also necessary because he is talented. She believes that producers, stylists, and creators should be treated as artists and they have to be rewarded properly. So she said that the 100 million I paid for the trademark of the name. That included the logo, the design, and future utilization of the designers of BANA. Okay. So, and she said that I can prove that the total amount 100 million won is a reasonable price compared to other design service fees, excluding compared to other companies, basically. And she said that even if you compare it to other service providers of Hybe or employees of Hybe, that 100 million is still better. Basically, she's still getting more from that 100 million. Now, Hybe claimed that that contract, um, Hybe said that under that contract, Adore would still have to pay incentives even if Bana is not doing any kind of work. And Min Heejin said that is absolutely not true. There shouldn't be any time when they are not working. So no, we will not, they always are doing something, so they get paid because they are always doing something. But then Hybe said, no, we continue to pay them. Even after you left the company, we continue to pay them. And so Min Heejin said, well, that is not my fault. I already left. Why are you blaming me for it? And then Hybe said, well, because we're paying them based on the contract that they signed with you, which we have to honor. And according to that contract, they get paid even if they're not doing anything. And as we know, in the last more than 12 months, they're not doing anything because NewJeans is not doing anything. So then Min Hee-jin, the Hybe lawyers asked her, are you sure this contract was actually approved by Part G1 and by Bang Shiyu? And she said, yeah, it was approved. I remember talking about it with the former CEO of Hybe, Part G1. Now, even the sorry, I'm not sure what's wrong with my slides, but she said that even with the, let me see if I can shift here. So she said that even with the um so even the court actually pressed her um to remember how the approval happened. So the court said you have to remember. You can't say that you forgot. You have to remember. And she said that, yeah, I can't remember. I don't remember. I don't remember. She kept on saying that. And she said that it must have been approved because she remember Park Ji-won saying that this is a decision that you can make. Okay. And then she said that, in fact, Park Ji-won told me after that that I can appoint the people that I want in the board of directors, in the BOD, the board of Adore. If you would remember, all of the members of the board were appointed by her. Okay, so she said, yeah, I remember being told that it was going to be my decision. And based on that, I executed the contract. And then Hybe actually asked, is it true that you emphasized giving Bana exceptionally favorable contract terms? And she said, well, because they are artists. They go- give they make good music, and that is the kind of music that is necessary for me to be successful, for to make Nujin successful. So yes, I was asking for favorable contract terms because I think they deserve it. So she goes back into emphasizing properly compensating talented people, about her ability to spot talent, and she wants to make sure that they are properly compensated so that she can keep them for a long time. Okay, so um, she also said that is why I actually said it in a positive light. And when you look at the industry as a whole, it's not that high. She said that that compensation is not that high. And she even mentioned P Dog. She said that P Dog actually earns more than Bana. And Bana is an outsider contractor. And in my head, it's like, of all the people that you could mention, you mentioned P Dog. Of course, he's going to be well paid. He's the head producer of BTS, the biggest group, the biggest group in the world. I mean, come on. Okay, but anyway, so she mentioned P Dog. Okay, and she said that the way that I see it, Kim Ki-yoon is an artist, a stylist, and is an artist. Basically, she's saying that the people that are working with New Jeans, she considers all of them artists, and that's why they need to be properly compensated. And she said that I always think that when working with talented people, it's only fair to motivate them and provide appropriate compensation. Okay. And then Hybe asked her, were you planning on using Bana to get new jeans out of Adore or Hybe? Okay. So I know this is a little confusing. She denied this, but basically, because she signed a non compete contract, it means that she can't, once she leaves Hybe, for example, or Adore, she can put up her own agency for 5 years. And so the problem is, how will she get new jeans out of a door? So what Hybe is saying is that did you partner with them? So it is going to be BANA that will purchase, that will get a door out of, that will get NewJeans out of a door. Okay, hope that's clear. Okay, and she said, no, that's not true. And then apparently she also promised Kim Ki-yoon, her ex-boyfriend, the founder of BANA, a portion of her put option. So she said that once she liquidates her put option, her options, her stocks, a part of it she will give to Kim Ki-yoon. And so Hybe was like asking, did you sign this document or whatever? And Min Heejin said, it is true. I promised him a portion of what I am going to be getting simply because I think he deserves it. He's not getting any kind of copyright. And so this is a replacement of that copyright. He's talented. I want him to continue working with us. And he said that initially he didn't even want to work with an idol because they are a hip hop company, a hip hop agency. And I just knew that I need him. I need his talent. I need his music. And so I was willing to do everything to get him. And so he said that is not unusual at all. It has nothing to do with my relationship or being his ex. It has nothing to do with that. He's just really talented. Okay, and she also denied making that document, Seven Deadly Sins of Hybe. She said, I did not make that document, but everything that is indicated in that document is actually true. You plagiarized New Jeans. I lit plagiarized New Jeans. You did album pushing or album sajegi. Everything in that document is true, but I did not make it. And she insisted it's not a document, it's just a list of facts. It seems so conniving to or evil to call it a document when in fact it's just a list of facts. Okay. She also criticized the compensation system of Hybe, saying that they overpay many producers or many other CEOs of the different labels under Hybe. But she is underpaid. So everyone else is overpaid except her. So essentially, her argument is that she's not sure if the CEOs are actually getting these incentives, the stocks, and their compensation because they are actually doing well or simply because they are friends with Bang Shiyok. Okay, that's her question. She said that in her case, so when she said that she thinks they are overpaying CEOs, the lawyer of Hybe asked her, do you think that we overpaid you? We're overpaying you, and that the stock options that we gave you is too much. And she said, absolutely not. In fact, it is not sufficient. When it comes to me, because I did give work, this is her talking, because I did good work and NewJeans is very successful, I am not getting enough. The others, however, they are overpaid. So she said that I don't know what kind of assessment Hybe is actually using, but they are overpaid. I am underpaid. Okay. Just to clarify, um, Adore wasn't the best selling agency. They were never the best, the highest earning agency. It was actually Big Hit, as always, even during the height of the enlistment of all the members. It has always been Big Hit. Next to Big Hit is actually Pledis because of 17. And then after Pledis, it is actually B-Lift because of Enhypen. It's just that B-Lift was reinvesting their money. They decided they're going to debut another group, and then they reinvested basically. They diversified. That's why their bottom line is lower. But when it comes to the gross, they're actually more. Okay. But according to her, I am doing really well. So I should be compensated more. Okay. So she also emphasized that she's not going through all of this simply because of money. She said that it is all because I want to improve the condition of K-pop. Okay. So she said that people who are being investigated for criminal cases, for criminal acts, they are getting less publicity. I A lot of hundreds of articles are being written about me. People are talking about me when I didn't even I did not hurt anybody. I did not commit a crime. So she said that she wants all of these things corrected. Now, Hybe is a high profile company. So, I mean, all right. So also said that I never used this is her talking. She said, I never used my business card, my credit card. That means that I never gained personally from Hybe. And that proves that I am an honest person. She said that. She never used the credit card provided to her by the agency. And she said that you have to look at my work ethic and my achievements. She said that the reason she works so much from home is that she doesn't even want to waste time taking a shower or washing herself or whatever. She doesn't want to waste time traveling to the office. So she just wants to wake up and then start working. So she said she really works hard. She works until the evening, late at night. And she said that look at the success that I had with New Jeans in less than 2 years, and also look at everything that I have achieved for SM Entertainment. Okay, so that's she said that my work ethic is proven by my achievements. And also because of that, my payment is insufficient because I did the best work. This is her talking because she provided the best result. Okay, and then she continuously asserted that yes, Eyelet plagiarized New Jeans. She actually raised her voice during this time. And she said that people don't get it. They think that this is not a big deal, but for a lot of people, this is a matter of survival. For creative people, your work is like your life. So when you get plagiarized, then it doesn't feel good. It feels like you're dying or whatever, like anything like that. So she did not address all of this evidence that she also copied, she also plagiarized from other groups by her definition of plagiarism that she did not address. Now, she also said that um, she addressed the early 2024 discussion surrounding revisions to the shareholders agreement, where she demanded that she be given 100% authority over the contract of NewJeans, that she will be given absolute autonomy in deciding whether she will terminate it or renew that. Now, she said that she did not ask for it. It was her lawyer who actually asked for it, and she did not get the chance to read the contract or the demand letter or whatever it is before it was given to Hybe. She said, I had nothing to do with it. She also revealed that the recording of the PR person of Hybe, if you would remember, Hybe, there was this famous incident where one of the PR persons of Hybe called a publication about an article they wrote about New Jeans, claiming that New Jeans sold 1 million copies of an album in Japan. And so the PR person was saying, actually, it's less than 30,000, I think. So please change the article because it's going to set the wrong expectations for our stockholders. And that became a thing in and of itself because people claimed that Hybe was actually trying to minimize the success of New Jeans. So Min said that it was actually her who got hold of that recording. And it was actually her who decided to make it public because she needed to protect the success and the reputation of New Jeans. They said that they were disparaging, Hybe was disparaging and discriminating against New Jeans, and she needed to fight back. So it was her who released that. She said, I raised the issue. This is her talking. I raised the issue because I had to protest the discrimination against New Jeans that Hybe was doing. Okay. The other thing that she admitted is that she knew about the guerrilla live stream of the five girls. So if you would remember, they just appeared in the live stream, a channel that they just created, and they announced that they wanted to terminate the contract and that they were giving Adore several, I think, up until like they gave them like 90 days, I think. They said that these are our demands. If you don't meet it, then we are going to terminate the contract. Now, the five girls actually insisted that nobody knew about this thing that they were going to do. Min Heejin just admitted that she knew about it. And she actually sent them a phone number of the person that would set up the entire thing for them. But she insisted that they did this not to protect her, but to protect themselves because they were trying to fight for themselves because Hybe was discriminating against them and demeaning the success of New Jeans. Hybe then went into the closing argument. This is the closing argument now. Hybe said that the purpose of entering into a shareholder agreement was to grow and develop Adore. And to achieve that purpose, the defendant, meaning Min Heejin, is required to engage in actions that should not harm Adore. Instead, she violated the her obligation because that violation was confirmed. Then Hybe terminated the agreement. So they said that that's how it started. That's why we terminated the agreement because you violated the contract. And as a result of that termination, the call option was exercised. Okay. In 2024 alone, Adore paid, so this is still Hybe talking. Adore paid Min Heejin 2.7 billion won, they said. So that's just in 2024. And despite that, she did all of these things in an effort to separate NewJeans from Adore. Okay. While Adore was still operating, Min Heejin demanded that her shares be purchased for 27.8 billion won. And that is just absolutely unacceptable. The defendant, this is still Hype talking, the defendant is Min Hee-jin, claimed that everything started with the audit. However, all the way back in March 14 of 2024, before they audited, Min Hee-jin was already discussing how to set up the violations or the complaints that they were going to file against Hybe. So Min Hee-jin actually coerced the parents in writing those protests. She started asking her former VP to look for faults or dirt in Hybe. She started planning and setting up all of these things just to put Hybe in a bad light. And that's what triggered the audit. It wasn't the other way around. That's what Hybe is saying. So, in fact, Hybe said talking to the judge, if you read the document that we submitted, you will realize that the purpose of that document, all of her emails, correspondence, text messages, were all to get NewJeans out of Adore and out of Hybe. And she said that if you read that, you will see that the voice of the emails that were sent by the parents to Hybe to complain and all of those stuff, those are words that she would usually use, which proves that she was the one who drafted everything, who wrote everything. Now, they said that for growth and development, it was essential that NewJeans remain with the company. But what Min Hee-jin did, instead of making sure that the girls continue working, is that she raised all of these suspicions and disturbed everything. She had Adore executives send protest emails, the parents send protests emails, raise concerns. And so it hampered the work of NewJeans. Instead of them just concentrating on their work, all of these issues arose. So, um, she said that it was the parents who started. It's still Hype talking. She said that it was the parents talking, but the emails, the correspondence proves that it was actually her who planted the idea. Okay. And the emails included expressions frequently used by Min Hee-jin. Okay, now Min Hee-jin's lawyer, not Min Hee-jin herself, Min Hee-jin's lawyer insisted that the shareholder agreement was issued, the termination notice by Hybe. They terminated the shareholders agreement July 8th. Okay? So the lawyer of Min Hee-jin saying that it means that there is no problem before July 8th. So the contract was still there. It was still in place. There isn't any grounds for the termination. Otherwise, you would have terminated it early. There were no legal issues during that period. In July, the shareholders agreement was Following that, Adore's board dismissed Min Hee-jin as CEO. And then Min Hee-jin tried to go back as a CEO. She actually filed an injunction, but it was rejected. After that, she exercised her put option and resigned November. So Hybe actually terminated the contract July, and then she exercised her put option November. And they're saying that she did that because there wasn't any kind of problem. She did not violate the contract at all. During that time, the NewJeans members were effectively left without proper care, basically saying Adore was actually abandoning NewJeans. They did not do anything. So we requested that Min Hee-jin be reinstated and that Adore return to its prior operating structure, but Hybe refused. This is the five girls requesting. And that narrative was created by the plaintiff after the fact. Okay. So they're saying that Hybe has not provided any kind of additional evidence proving that she indeed premeditated all of these things. And all the evidence that they submitted in the past, that Hybe submitted in the past, they have already refuted. Now, in this slide that was broken, um, Hybe actually indicated that they found a new, or they have a witness that would actually testify that Min Heejin violated the shareholders agreement. And in the next hearing, which is January 15, they are going to present that witness. We're going to wait who that witness is, but they are mandated to actually submit the name, the identity of the witness, because they need to give the defendant and her legal team a time to plan their questions and also a plan to how they can defend their client. So we're going to know very, very soon who that is. But they're saying they have a witness. So there is an extra. Supposedly, January 15 is when the decision was going to be handed down. But the judge extended it for one more hearing. And then after that's going to be the last. And then the decision is going to come. So right around January 15 is when the next hearing is going to be. And those are all of my updates. Now, all of those things were provided by the Korean media. I got it from the Korean media. I am sure because most of this write ups were being written while they are in court, right? Because they wanted to be fast. So, most likely, there are more details that will come up as time goes by. And if there's anything that is important, then I am going to make sure that I send you all of those updates. Okay. But did I miss anything? Oh, yes, I did miss something. So Hybe also asked her about the non indictment decision. So she mentioned in her press conference that she received the 200-page non-indictment decision of the police. If you would remember, Hybe filed a police complaint against her for her to get investigated, and the police actually dismissed that. They said that there is no reason to indict her. Now she claimed that she received a 200-page decision. And Hybe said, "Are you sure it's 200 pages?" And said, "Yeah, I got a 200-page decision." And Hybe said, "That is odd because usually the decision is about 9 to 10 pages long." And the court even repeated the question, "Are you sure you got 200 pages?" And she said, "Yep, I got 200 pages." So what essentially they were implying is that she got a hold of a document she should not have gotten, because that decision, that meant that what she actually got is the actual investigation document, which neither party should have access to. The only thing that they should have access to is the actual decision. So if she got hold of that 200-page document, something is wrong. There is a lawyer, the YouTube channel is Law GPT, who discussed this. He said that this is illegal. Neither party should have a copy of the actual investigation document. They should just have a copy of the actual decision. And he has been discussing this for a long time, right? As soon after Min Heejin made that claim that she got the 200-page decision. So even the judge actually asked her lawyer, "You only submitted 19 pages. Where is the rest?" And the legal team said they did not think that it is relevant, so they did not submit it. And the judge requested that he be given a copy. And the lawyer, I think, said something like they will discuss whether it is relevant to the case or not. But if Hybe is able to prove that that 200-page document was not the decision itself, but the actual investigation document, something is wrong in this investigation. So I think that's the only thing that I missed. That is it. Thank you so much for watching my video. Thank you so much for being with me. And yeah, so if there's any updates, I'll just provide you the updates as soon as I can. Thank you so much. Also, please consider donating to the channel. The QR code is right there. We are porting all of the funds into the publication that we have right now, asianentertainmentandculture.com. That is our online magazine. And we are on a soft launch, but we're going to do a formal launch by next year. We are just putting as much content as we can. So please go to the website, asianentertainmentandculture.com, and give us suggestions. Creative, constructive criticism will always be welcome. Also, please follow me on X, IG, and Patreon. You'll see all of that there. And the Patreon is where the community is. So that's the most important thing. If you want to find people that you can converse with about movies, TV shows, Asian movies, TV shows, music, current events, fun things, that's the place for you to go. We do have a free tier just in case you want to try things out. We're also planning the concerts that we will be attending. Thank you so much. Also, if you are a Patreon member or YouTube member, I opened my membership um, several months ago. I do a live stream once a week, members only, usually every Fridays, and those don't go public. Also, I provide exclusive content. So please consider supporting me there as well. That is it. Thank you so much. Please like the video, subscribe, and hit that notification button so that you do not miss a single updates. But also, the most important thing is to share the video because that's really going to push the algorithm to recommend this to more people. So just share it, send a link to your parents, to your family members, exes, friends, leave a link on your social media, on your messaging app, on your email, everywhere. Thank you so much. Till next time.